comment section the best tire shine that you guys have used or know about. Put it in the comment section, please. Please. I really want some really good tire shine. I mean, this doesn't look bad, but it's not really, the kind of gloss that I want. We do have some rock chips. I have noticed that rocks will, like, you'll be driving and a rock will skid up on the hood, up to the roof. Okay, so as you guys see, we do have some rock chips. That's the other reason I wanted to get this car wrapped. Giving you guys a visual. See, wax does do this car really good. The car does have a few little rock chips, small little things, but that's what you get when you daily drive it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. So if you do daily drive it, you will get some rock chips, some things, some little scratches, stuff like that. So that comes with it, But there's nothing like daily driving this car. There's nothing like it on the road. Again, that's what we do over here. So hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Join the VSOP Club. Turn on all post notifications for me, guys. You guys know the Maserati is not going to be going anywhere, so we're going to be having a lot more Maserati content. I haven't even dressed the car yet, threw rims on it. None of that. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. This car is here for the long haul. We're not like other channels. We don't really just buy cars to film, and then get rid of the car. It might take us a little bit longer to, run through a bunch of cars, but we have time. We're not going anywhere. We're not in a rush. And the stuff we get, we try to keep. So, again, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. If you like the way that sounds, join the VSOP Club. I'm going to hit y'all in the next video. I'm out, guys. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Join the VSOP Club. Hit that notification bell for me. Turn on all post notifications so you can tune when I drop a video. I hope everybody's doing good today. I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope everybody's having a good day. The topic of discussion today is, and I might make this I don't know how many parts to it, but an installment type series type of thing for the Granturismo, and it's going to be the hidden features, of the Granturismo. Now, a lot of people probably gonna look at me kind of crazy, but stay with me. I'll explain what I mean. A lot of people that don't have this car may not know about this. Even some people that do have the car may not be aware about it, because a lot of people that do have this car don't really drive it too often. Especially they don't drive it in bad weather. They really don't take it out unless it's a nice day, a sunny day. You got a lot of people that really don't even take it out then. They car show car, or they store it and they're waiting for the value to go up. There's no kind of owners for this car. So a lot of those people may not be aware of this car, some of the things, some of the features. The they're not so talked about. So I'm gonna give you one today that I figured out really driving this car probably maybe 2 weeks ago. Okay, so I did a road trip, not really a road trip, but I went probably about 100-mile distance, 100 and change distance, okay, one way, and then 100 miles back. Okay, so this was a 200-mile round trip, and on the way back, okay, it rained, and it rained pretty hard. It rained on and off the whole trip, but it was raining hard on and off. It wasn't a sun shower. This was heavy rain. Windshield wipers on 3. Yeah. So the rain was coming down. Everybody's slowing down on the highway type thing. Okay. Now it wasn't torrential downpour. This wasn't a tropical storm, but it was raining pretty hard. Okay. It wasn't the type of downpour that you can't see. Okay. It wasn't that. Okay. But it was raining hard. So what I noticed about this car, and as you guys know, if you've been watching the videos, okay, you guys know the Granturismo isn't my only car. You guys know I came from the E350 Sport, 2009. Okay, rear wheel drive, not 4MATIC. And I also have I don't have the air suspension. I think I don't know what the suspension is called exactly, but I have regular springs. Okay, so that car picked up a few years ago now. That used to be the daily. Now this is the daily. This is going to change soon, as a lot of you guys know. But I always like to compare this car to the E350 because the E350 is known as the workhorse. It's known as, outside of the G-Wagon, probably the most durable Mercedes that there is. Okay, so this is why I like to use that as a base comparison, for a lot of cars, because most people who have that car know what I'm talking about. Put it in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. The E-Class is, the workhorse. Outside of the G-Wagon, the E-Class is probably the most dependable, durable Mercedes that they make. That's why you still see them in, countries in Europe, old ones, okay, still running with crazy amounts of mileage on it. So that's why I like to use that car as something to compare to. Because if you can go against that, then it's a pretty good vehicle. Okay, so with that being said, okay, this car, when I drove the E350, okay, and the one thing I didn't like about the E350, it's not the 4MATIC, like I just said, it's the rear wheel drive one. Okay, so it's very similar in terms of, well, not similar, it's the same. It's the same in that aspect. Okay, they're both rear wheel drive cars. Now the E350 on the highway, okay, now this is the sport model, the AMG wheels, staggered wheels, okay, 18s, okay, thinner in the front, wider in the back. Now, that car, driving that car on the highway was fun in dry weather. Driving that car on the highway is a very fun car to drive. Got to have fun. You get, because that car is more common, you get to have fun with people that, you see another E-Class, they might want to, play a little game of tag, keep up. You might even get a race in or something like that. Maybe. It's not really a race car, but it's a good keep up, play keep up type of car. Especially when you get into sections on the highway where there's not a lot of traffic, right? So it's that type of car, Autobahn car. Okay, so that car in dry weather, again, I love driving that car in dry weather. Okay, especially you put fresh tires on it. It's a great car to drive in dry weather, especially on the highway, like I just said. Now, when it came to wet weather, okay, I was not a fan of driving that car in wet weather. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if it was a tire brand, okay? I'm not sure really what it was, but I was not really a fan of driving that car in wet weather. Now, another thing that I think may have been, and this is what I'm going to get you into with the Gran Turismo, okay? And I'll actually say that when I start talking about the Gran Turismo, but I don't know if it was the tires, okay? But I was not a fan of driving that car in wet weather on the highway, okay? I felt like, not that the car would dance or sway, but just like it floated, you know, it has that Benz float, you know, even in a sporty Benz to me, unless it's a two-seater Benz, and even those, I think Mercedes just got to the point where they could really make a sporty sports car, right? Because, you know, we have a R129, you know, the club has an R129 now. It's not, even that, it still floats. It's not, you know, a sports car. It's not rigid. You don't feel every bump in the road, every little rock, pebble, and everything like that, right? So I think that's, you know, maybe what plays a part in the E350 on the highway, is that you still get that Benz, you know, ride, that floating ride, which to me in dry weather I like, but in wet weather I'm not really a fan of it, you know. And I'm not, you know. Now, on a Benz that's not a sport model, okay, like my father had a W140 years ago, okay, this is years ago, 90s, when I was a kid, he had a W140. I don't remember that car feeling like it, like, I guess because the wheels are staggered, but you still have that Benz luxury float, you know, it doesn't clash well to me, you know. And I don't remember the 140 floating. I remember it feeling like a luxurious float ride, but it didn't, you know, it didn't feel like it was clashing with the sport ride, you know. And that's what I feel like it does, you know, on that E350. It maybe with the staggered wheels, you know, it just doesn't. And again, I'm on springs, okay? I'm not on the air suspension that they made for a lot of those cars, because I didn't want to deal with having to replace that, because I know it notoriously, you know, has to be replaced. So I didn't want to go through that. So I got the one with the springs. Okay, now again, dry weather, I love driving that car. Okay, it's a fun car to drive in dry weather. And I believe really because that's the tires, okay? The tires, they're low profile tires, AMG tires, but they're wider in the back than in the front. And I'm thinking that's, you know, and what leads me into the Gran Turismo, and one of the hidden features I think is a feature of the Gran Turismo, which a lot of people will say is not, okay, is the actual weight of the car. Now, okay, the E350 does not weigh as much as the Gran Turismo, which is crazy. If you look at both cars, okay, the E350 is a four-door sedan, okay. The E350 was really built as a family car, okay. Now they put a little sport trim on it, gave it wider wheels, and you know, all that, but you know, it was really intended, you know, at its inception to be a family vehicle. Now, the Gran Turismo, you know, is a grand touring sports car, okay. I know a lot of people don't refer to it like that, but that's what it is. It's a grand touring sports car, okay. The Gran Turismo is about 4,000 and some change, okay? 4,200, 4,300 pounds, something like that. I think the E350 is 3,700. Put it in the comment section what the weight is. But the weight is drastically, it's pretty much different. I think it's just like a 700 pound difference, something like that, okay? But like, you look at these cars side by side and you won't really believe that the Gran Turismo is that much heavier than the E350. And that's why I say the Gran Turismo, when I came back on my trip, okay, I took my 100-mile journey back and it started to rain. What I noticed about it, and I can compare these cars because I had fresh tires on the E350, okay, and it's fresh tires on here. You guys seen the video. Okay, we put Bridgestone Potenza tires on the car. Okay, this car in the rain, guys. No hydroplane, okay, on the highway. Absolutely none. Okay, now, when all of these people on the highway started slowing down a little bit, you know, because the rain, and you know, everybody on the highway slows down, you know, in rain. But this car, guys, I'm telling you, I felt safe. Okay, the car wasn't floating. Okay, it was glued to the ground, hugging the ground. Okay. Now, you know, to me, you know, the weight on the car, and this is what the car was intended to be used for, was grand touring. Okay, the car was not intended to go to the track. The car was intended to be a grand touring car. Okay, now, guys, I know a lot of people don't think that the weight works for the car. Okay, now this is what I tell you guys: the Granturismo is the perfect street car. Okay, and it is. You have a car that sounds crazy, probably the craziest sounding car on the street, stock. That's not, you know, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. You know, stock. Okay, probably one of the most, for the bang for the buck. You know, I don't really think you can do better on the stock exhaust. I'm sorry, you know, I've heard a lot of things go by out here. We're out here on the East End, you guys know. Okay, been watching the videos, we've been car spotters. We've seen most of the legendary Ferraris. Okay, we've seen the Lamborghinis, the Diablos, the Aventadors, the Huracans. Okay, the only car I could hear that's giving this car a run for its money on the street is the Huracan. Okay, I love the Aventador. Aventadors don't sound all F1-ish until you do a custom exhaust on it. Now, the Aventador does sound good, okay? But that, again, that's in a $500,000, that's another, you know, a $500,000 range. Show me something, even retail-wise, where this car started, which was $150, okay, in that range. Show me something else that sounds as good as that, out the box. Now they're starting to do it, you know. I would say the Vet, the Z06, you know, I don't know how much that costs. I think, you know, out the box from, you know, I don't know what the MSRP and the daily, you know, the tax on that, but, you know, at the time of this car, and this is what I say, you know, go get a Granturismo, you know, if you want one, because these prices it's not gonna last. And they're not, you know, I can't see it lasting, you know, especially, I just can't see it lasting. But again, guys, you know, one thing I noticed, okay, and to me it was a feature of the car, and a lot of you guys that don't drive the car in the rain will never really experience this, and I can understand why you don't, you know, I can understand, but I'm just saying, for, you know, some of the guys who do daily it, or who will take it out, you know, even if you get caught in the rain. If you get caught in the rain in this car, it's not a car you got to worry about dancing on the highway. You know, it's not a car you really got to worry about. No, as long as you don't get crazy, you know, as long as you drive, you know, normal, okay? It's not a car you got to worry about dancing on the highway, feeling uncomfortable, you know, because I know a lot of guys, like I've watched quite a few people on YouTube drive, you know, a lot of these sports cars, and some of them look good, but they don't drive how they look, you know. In this car, I have to say, in the rain, okay, drive weather, most of these cars are going to be fine, but in, you know, in wet weather is really kind of where you get to see, you know, ill quality, how safe you're going to feel, and a lot of that, you know. So, you know, don't be afraid to get caught in the rain in this. Don't be afraid to take this car out in the rain. Well, not crazy rain, you know, it's still a Granturismo, but, you know, don't be afraid to, you know, if you get caught on a long, you know, rain, on a long journey, on a long distance, and you're coming back, don't be scared, you know, of driving this car, or having to, you know, drive through, you know, terrible weather, you know, bad weather, because one thing I can say, this car can handle it, okay, and it can. fresh tires, okay? No hydroplane, no shaking, no dancing, okay? No, oh, this is a dry weather car, no, okay? And for everybody who's asking these questions, okay, why the wheels are tucked in on this car and why does this car need spacers? For everybody who puts spacers on a Gran Turismo, the reason why the wheels are tucked in on the sides of this car is so you don't kick up debris, okay, on your fenders and your quarter panels, okay, especially when you're driving in your Grand Touring, okay? Now I'm telling you guys, okay, dude, if you have a Gran Turismo, okay, you have fresh tires on it, you know, it is definitely a car that to me, you know, outside of snow, can handle pretty much what you're gonna throw at it. The only other car that I really hear that you could really do stuff like that with is a Porsche. Okay, and I gotta say, driving this car in the weather because of the weight, okay, there's no hydroplane. You don't feel, you know, it doesn't feel weird, it doesn't feel funny, it doesn't feel unsafe in the rain. It feels very safe. I was very surprised how stable it was, how planted this car was, okay, and it made me comfortable driving in the rain, you know, really, which is, for a sports car, you know, is any kind of car with two doors, okay? Grand Touring, track car, is something to be proud of, you know. So, like I said, guys, definitely a car that, what that was about? It's definitely a car that you can trust, you know. Gran Turismo is definitely a car you can trust, you know, definitely. You know, the Gran Turismo, Grand Touring, they meant that, you know, for real, you know. So, again, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me, join the VSOP Club, turn on all post notifications for me if you haven't already, and get in tune when I drop a video. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.